Hello guys, welcome back to Amazingly Unknown. Most events classified as mysterious in nature are shrugged off as stuff and nonsense. Rightly so too. However, there are exceptions that baffle people so much they cannot stop talking about it on the internet and with their friends. A fairly recent example is the disappearance of flight MH370. While it's commonly accepted that the airliner crashed into the sea, it remains unknown why exactly that happened. On this list are 5 mysterious events that were baffling enough to make the news. Are they stuff and nonsense too, or is there a real mystery behind these events? Number 1. The vanishing car. On the 30th of December 2019, emergency services were called to Gray Whale Cove State Beach in California. An anonymous witness claimed he had seen a Lexus SUV driving over a cliff overlooking the ocean. Officials immediately called in reinforcements including the U.S. Coast Guard, and a 6-hour search for bodies and the remnants of the vehicle ensued. The search was halted after water conditions became dangerous and daylight faded. The only evidence they found of a car leaping over the cliff was dashboard camera footage. Some debris and tire marks on the sand that surrounds the edge of the cliff. Suspicion arose that the video may have been faked, considering that there was no car in the water or evidence of any human remains. However, on the 16th of January 2020, another witness came forward corroborating the story and saying that they too saw the car flying over the edge of the cliff. Some car parts have washed up on nearby beaches, which police are sorting through. But to date there have been no bodies found nor easily identifiable parts of a Lexus SUV. There is also yet to be a missing person or missing vehicle report filed that might be linked to the incident. Number 2. The missing town of Oklahoma. There are several tales of islands disappearing without a trace, as well as entire communities that seem to have vanished overnight. Then there are the reports of entire towns vanishing, leaving little evidence behind that they had ever existed. In 1928, the small town of Oklahoma in Iowa looked just how you would expect a small American town at the time to look. The grass was trimmed, the roads were maintained with new buildings popping up every now and then. Strangely enough, when aerial photos were taken of the area, it seemed that no town existed in that spot. Fields were overgrown and clearly not looked after, and the place looked desolated. It could have been written off as a mistake or photo anomaly. But then a report emerged from a tourist who stopped in Oklahoma to fill up with gas. Driving away, he realized his tank had never been topped up, and he drove back to Oklahoma immediately to demand the gas he paid for. However, he drove and drove but could not reach the town. Running out of gas, he got out and walked towards it, seeing it before him but unable to reach it. More reports started coming in from people driving past the town. They claimed that the place was abandoned, and investigation revealed rows of houses without occupants. Others claimed they saw the town evaporating into thin air. The reports were printed in several newspapers, but when the stock market crash of 1929 happened, the incidents were forgotten. Years later, people moved into the area and found the remains of what used to be the town of Oklahoma. So, was it all just a scary story? Or was there really a town that vanished bit by bit, taking its citizens with it? Number 3. The unstoppable stalker. Having a stalker is probably one of the scariest things you can have happen to you. Imagine a person turning your cell phone into a device with which he can spy on you and track your every move while threatening to kill you. 3 families in Washington had to endure this nightmare in 2007, with an aggressive person phoning them at all hours and threatening to kill their children, grandparents and even pets. They would receive voicemails that play recordings of their conversations with the local police. The person would describe what they are wearing or what they are busy doing at any given time. Police were powerless to do anything, as their investigations turned up no leads as to who the stalker may be. They even suspected the families of making the entire thing up. However, electronic surveillance experts agree that phones can be operated remotely, which means the reports could very well be true. Whether this is a prankster that has gone too far, or a true stalker that meant to harm the families, will probably never be established. The identity of the stalker remains unknown. Number 4, the Nevada Triangle. For some reason there are several triangles around the world that seem to be black holes of mystery and death. Perhaps the most famous of these is the Bermuda Triangle, which is purported to have swallowed up dozens of ships and airplanes. In Nevada there is yet another triangle which covers a vast area close to Area 51. Here more than 2,000 planes have vanished, seemingly into thin air, with most of them never found. The most well-known missing plane and pilot story is the one that tells of billionaire Steve Fossett, a very experienced pilot, who went missing on the California-Nevada border in 2007. The wreckage and some of Fossett's remains were discovered a year later. The reason for the crash remains unknown, despite a multitude of theories including downdrafts. Other disappearances in the Nevada Triangle include a B-24 bomber that went missing in 1943 and was found submerged in a reservoir in 1955. Number 5. Chamber of Horrors. He is known as America's first serial killer. Born Herman Webster Mudgett, H. Holmes was an abject degenerate of a human being. Using dirty money he attained from unscrupulous activities, such as insurance fraud and the occasional murder for hire, he constructed a large building in Chicago and ran it as a hotel/hostel, in 1893. In addition, he ran a drugstore on the same street which helped him become a respected member of the community. However, his ostensible integrity hid a sinister monster. It turns out that, for years, his building was the site of grisly and gruesome murders carried out at his hands. After his ultimate arrest, it was discovered that the murder castle, as it became known, contained many architectural oddities such as hidden staircases and trapdoors, allowing Holmes to enter guests' rooms. The most macabre hidden area, however, was the dissection room and crematorium, located in the basement into which victims' bodies were thrown via a chute from upper floors. This room was a laboratory of torture devices, tombs and surgical devices and became publicly known as the Chamber of Horrors. It is believed that no fewer than 50 women were slaughtered in unimaginable ways there. Thanks for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe for more interesting videos like this.